Hi, Sparrows. Hello, Sparrows. It is Moi. I am Valerie Miller of TVM, the Valerie Miller Double Fold. This very moment, you have opportunity to change. And of course, it's Matters of the Heart Monday. And I figured tonight I was going to come on and delve a little bit more as in how I became fabulous and a lady all the time, right? This book right here, how it came to be. I keep getting question after question after question about details of the book from people who has read the book and from individuals who haven't read the book yet. However, just to answer some questions, I figure it's time for just a one-on-one. I'm not going to delve into all of the meat of the book because I want you to read it, and then we can have a more engaging conversation. That will be not public, however, a private situation. So we're going to talk about 7 questions that I'm going to be asking myself and answering to alleviate some of the questions that I've heard and some other ways and things about how I've heard things from other people. So tonight is going to be that night to do that. So welcome to the room. Come on in. Let's have a one-on-one conversation. And if there's any questions that you have and you would like to ask me directly, do so. Drop the question in comments and I shall answer it. If you're bold enough and you want to come on live with me, post your number in comments and I'll call you. That's simple. That's simple. I promise you I'll do it. And I will answer the question live. So that is what is taking place in the room tonight for Matters of the Heart. We all have a story. I have a story. You have a story. Not everyone is brave enough to share your stories. I was one of those individuals, and it still surprises me sometimes knowing that I wrote this book, and that is actually 3 parts to it. And I haven't even rolled out the second one yet. I'm still writing, and I start and I stop. I start and I stop because it's a lot to remember. I have to go back to dates and times and reliving because it's not a fictional book that I'm writing. This is nonfiction. It's real life memoir. So that is why it takes such time. If I can get my glasses on, it takes such time to go about doing that. Hi, Judy. Hi, Veronica. So that's what I am doing tonight. I'm delving into the meat of the book. If you've read the book and you're in the room, then by all means, post a comment or two. Just be mindful of what you ask and asking me to answer questions which will ruin it for somebody else. Okay, so this is going to be short and sweet. At least I'm believing it to be short and sweet tonight. However, I feel that it's important to me for me to go ahead and talk about the book just a little bit more. So since I didn't plan this out, because of course it's unscripted here at TVM, I just on the cuff I'll decide to do something and then share that with you Sparrows, right? That's how I do it over here. So welcome to the room. Come in, cross your legs, have a little something to drink because it's going to be a little bit juicy, a little bit. I'm not going to share too much, but like I said, I want you to read the book. It's best to read and then have engaging conversation. Jessica Berry, welcome to the room. Patrice, Auntie, Vivian Sanders, Kim, welcome to the room. So like I said, I'm only ask, or shall I say direct 7 questions to myself, and then I'm going to answer those questions. For those of you who don't know me on a personal basis, which is a majority, there's so many people who don't even know who I am, and there are tons of you that do. So this is going to give you an insight, a little bit more information as to who the author is, Valerie Miller, of How I Became Fabulous and a Lady All the Time. And of course, every Monday, Conversations are involving music and author and artist conversations. And generally, I'll pull a topic from the book and have engaging conversation as I get acquainted with individuals that I may have live with me on that particular night. Tonight is going to be a shift. It's just one-on-one engagement. So don't be shy. Don't be bashful. Ebony Blue, where have you been? I missed you. Let's talk soon. I miss you, girl. So I'm just going to delve in. I have these 7 questions. There is no order to them. I'm just going to ask them. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and ask myself a question. It's weird to have conversation with myself. So like I said, for those of you who want to ask a question, please do so. Please post in comments and I will answer. I am an open book. It's nothing shy about me. So just know that. So I'm going to ask this. Okay. How would I describe myself? As in who I am. Yeah. Who am I? We all get asked that question. And I like to ask my clients questions like that also. So to say who I am, and most people will say, well, why did you choose the word fabulous to describe yourself with the title of the book? And in actuality, I use the word fabulous to describe me because I am fabulous. And I'm fabulous for the reason of saying who I have become after going through situations in my life, whether it's grief, whether in relationships, always come out on the other side. It's like being greeted with the rainbow after the storm. That's how I look at fabulous. And just I so happen to write about the rainbows today. I saw 17 rainbows today in a matter of moments. So I wrote that as my gratitude time. However, fabulous to me isn't necessarily talking about me per se. It's how I became fabulous through Christ and my relationship with God and how I became who I have after losing, well, talking about my son in this book. Okay. So I became relationships, X, Y's, and Z's, like who I have became. So that's where fabulous came from. So I always say I'm fabulous. If you ask me how I'm doing, I always say fabulous. What's up, Val? Fabulous. What are you doing today? You're feeling okay? Yes, I'm fabulous. Everything is fabulous. And if you know me like that, then this rings to be true because you know who I am. Welcome to the room, Sheldon. So fabulous is the one word that is descriptive of me. No matter what I go through in life, it can be good, bad, or indifferent. I always find the good in all situations. And when basically in search, looking for the good in everything, you discover yourself. It basically unlayers who you are, how you deal with situations, how you get through them, and having a positive attitude and mindset. That is why the one word fabulous is descriptive of who I am. Okay, so it's so many layers to me that equates to what fabulous means to me in essence. On the cover of my book, the front, the back, inside, is so many things that unveil who I am, that I would equate to be fabulous. Whether it's career, if it's relationships, or just things that I like, it's embedded in the covers of this book. If you look closely, you'll see so many things that's just tucked away in there. And I did that intentionally. I had my niece, which is my graphics designer, I had her place different things because it's a reminder of where I've been, the history of myself. That's the reason why I chose to do that. So if you have a copy of the book, look it over. you'll see numbers on there. And one number in particular, 217, that's my birthday. And it's more than just my birthday. If you go to Genesis 7:11, read that, then you'll discover that on the second month, 17th day, is when God wiped out humanity. Yeah, Noah's Ark takes it back to that time. Who ever knew that, or even inquired of a date of when the world ended as far as humanity? Well, it's there. Go read it for yourself. So it's power in numbers. So that is the answer to that particular question as to who I am and why I deem myself to be fabulous, where that title came from. So there you have it. So number two, what advice would I give my younger self to do everything as I've already done it? That's the advice I would give my younger self. I wouldn't want to change anything, nothing at all. I wouldn't want to, for the simple fact, I wouldn't be who I am if I changed anything. So I am loving who I am becoming because of where I've been. And because of where I've been and where I am presently today, I love myself that much more because of the tomorrows that are going to come in the future. I am excited about what tomorrow brings and what is in God's plan for me moving forward. So there is nothing that I would want to alter or change. That's what I would say to my younger self. That was an easy breezy. Now, this one isn't so much. It's something that's going to take thought. However, what I will say is where the foundation of my company, where it came from, TVM, the Valerie Miller, which is personal branding. And what I do with TVM, if you haven't noticed already, I have an inspiration to transformation company. That's what TVM is. It's inspiring you to choose consciously and with intention to become the best version of yourself. So in essence, I introduce you to yourself, and it's so many layers. It's a biblical, founded company, and that's what I do basically. So this particular question I'm asking is, which is more powerful, change or acceptance? Change or acceptance? I'm not sure if I would even want to define that as an either or, because in order to do one, you have to do the other. You have to change. And so looking at it for myself, I had to accept reality of what is, what was present, what's going on in my life, what's happened in my life past, in order to change moving forward. So to me, it's a marriage for acceptance and changing. You cannot do one without the other. That's what's so important when it comes to that. Like, I've changed so much, and it's all due to me accepting the facts or realities of things that have taken place in the past, realities of things that's happening now, because it's structuring and laying out the foundation of what's to come moving forward. That is a fact. Book number 2 that's coming out is along the lines of acceptance. Once I had to face everything that took place in my life, that was tough enough. To be vulnerable enough to write it and make it visible and public to the world, to come out. So after doing that and going back and reading the book myself, and of course most people say, well, Val, why are you reading your own book? You wrote it. Because I had to discover me. It's so much that I still did not put in this book, but it's a reminder when I go back and I read it. So I'm grateful that I wrote it the way that I did, and to break it up into 2 parts. So the reality of things is here. This is the reality. And acceptance is number two that I'm writing right now. Eventually, it'll finish. It'll finish eventually. However, the lessons that I learned will be book three. So it's a lot to share. And the reason that I'm doing so is to inspire you to have those self talks with yourself, to unveil the things that you've masked, the things that you've had suppressed, you've tucked away in the corners, in the closets, swept under the rugs. It's time to face off to these things. Take it head on and make the corrections, the changes in your life that will allow you, giving yourself permission to become who you were born to be. So that's what I'll say about that. I don't see any questions out there yet. You guys can ask me a question if you want. Go ahead, ask away. I don't mind answering. And then, like I said, put your number out there. I'll call you too if you want to come on live with me. I'll do it. So it's just going to be a verbal thing. I wouldn't bring you on live, side by side. So, but I will bring you on to have a conversation if you want to. I would do it. If I was a color, what color would I be? We have favorite colors. We have colors that mean different things to us. My favorite color is purple. However, in alongside of what this question is, if I were a color, I would be green. I would be green. You see this canvas behind me all the time. It's purpose behind that. You may see me wearing shades of green. I love green. I love green. Not because it's my favorite color, it's just one of my, I would say it's my magical color. It's my color of hope. It's my color of triumph. It's my color to move forward. That's what I see when I see green. It's the hope in it all. It's beautiful. It's calm. It's endearing. It lures you in. And of course, this is a lotus back here, one of my fave flowers. But at the same time, green is calming. It's calming. And it's calming to my spirit. That's why I love it so much. I love green. So that's why you see green behind me. I use that as my staple color for my business. And it's just one of the colors because purple is in that also. Navy blue is a part of my color scheme. Red is a part of my color scheme. And you see this color blue, it's a part of it. Green and blue, those are my logo colors for TVM. Red is for Vision, which is my actual company, LLC. So TVM is just a subsidiary. It's just one of the companies that I have when it comes to interior design, when it comes to, herbal cosmetics, things like that. So it's so many layers to me that I talk about in my book. It's tons of layers to me. I'm just not a one-sided person and just stuck into a space. No, it's a lot to me. And you have to get to know me in order to know that. You do. You sincerely do. We're down to 3 more questions. So I'm going to ask this one. What do I owe myself? That's a juicy. What do I owe myself? Ask yourself these same questions too. I want you to play them over in your mind. So what I say that I owe myself, I always owe myself honesty. I owe myself to always be truthful to myself. I always owe myself to be loyal to me, to be authentic, to be who I say I am and display that fully to show you who I am. So that's what I do. Every time you see me on camera, I'm displaying myself to you. That's authenticity. That's my truth. I'm loyal, dependable. All these things I owe to myself. What I owe to myself is what I look for in other people. The exact same thing. I'm mirroring other people just to get to know them as you are getting to know me. That is what I do. That is what I owe myself. The truth at all times. I believe in honesty like there is no tomorrow because honesty is truly, truly the best policy. I live by that. So if I'm honest to you, I'm looking for you to be honest with me, whether if it hurts or not. Always be honest. That is the epitome of what I owe myself, to be loyal and honesty and being truthful. I like that question. Down to two. I figured I could wrap this up in a half an hour, and I think I'm going to do it. I would really like it if someone would want to come on. Put your number out there so I can call you and then we can talk about some things. Otherwise, put it in the comments. It doesn't matter. However, question number 6. Are you the same person you were 5 or 10 years ago? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I hope you're not also. I really, honest and truly am sincere with you right now. It's not feasible for me to be the same person I was 5 to 10 years ago. I've grown so much by leaps and bounds. Oh my gosh. I'm still becoming every day. You're becoming every day. So it's not possible to stay in the same place. Don't ever sit in the same place because if you're not growing, you're stagnant, which means you're not working on you. You're not trying to be greater than you are now. I never intend to be the same person. I am always. Every day I'm changing. I have 1,000,001 ideas. I'm implementing those ideas and have to remind myself not to do it all at once, Val. You don't need to do it all today. Just kind of stage it and do these things. And that's because of growth and becoming. I'm enjoying every step of my walk every single day. It's important, it is vital, and that's the only reason I put myself on display, to show you my authenticity of what I do, who I am, and to be trustworthy in your space. So living my life the way I have, and I feel that it's been the best example as I could when it comes to Galatians 5:22-23, the fruits of the Spirit. I feel like if I can live as closely to Jesus and as God has written in the Word, if I can live that way, I'm golden. I'm golden. Yeah, so that equates to changing. My company is change. Oh my goodness. TBM, this very moment, you have opportunity to change. So I put it in my speech. I put it in my walk. It's in my talk. It's there all the time. And it's also challenge based. It's also principles, biblical principles that are there. That's who I am. I can't be any other way because that's who I am. That's where authenticity comes in. I'm not trying to be someone else because it's a full-time job being you. It takes all day, all the time to be focused on myself, to be me authentically. So question yourself on that. Have you changed in 5 to 10 years? What does your canvas look like now versus then? It was awakening for me. You know, Layla Hathaway has a song. I wrote about it in here that woke me up to what I was supposed to write about then and now. The lyrics in that song, amazing. I'm not going to play it for you tonight. However, I will post it in comments after the broadcast so you can hear it, because that's my track of the night. Because if it wasn't for Layla Hathaway writing that song and me hearing it at the time that was so prevalent in my life, this book would not have come to life. It wouldn't have come to life. It wouldn't have. So gratitude to Layla Hathaway in writing that song. And so I had to write in regards to her in here. I did. It's just a tribute between her and Toni Morrison. Read about it. Now I'm down to the last question. Do you believe everything happens for a reason, or is it just coincidence? I wholeheartedly believe everything in life happens for a reason. Yes, I wholeheartedly believe that. It happens for reasons, because it's teaching us something so we can grow, we can learn, we can change, we can challenge ourselves to become greater. It's purpose in it. No matter if it's good or bad, however you look at it, it's something good in it. Something beautiful can come out of it, no matter if it's broken, if it's bruised, damaged, how you want to look at it. It's something beautiful in every situation. I am a firm believer that is a reason that everything happens in our lives. And it's not happening to us, it's happening for us. If I had not lost my son 26 years ago, it's not even feasible for me to be, it wouldn't be for me to be sitting in front of you right now. I wouldn't have a reason to be. My businesses have bloomed because of that, and they even came to an existence because of that. Living with grief, overcoming that as well as I can, and choosing to live life rather than stopping in the midst of heartache. You can't stop living because we suffer from loss. Life goes on. We are born to die. We're all going to leave here. We just don't know when. And it's shocking at times, like it was shocking and detrimental for me to learn that news, especially when he wasn't even born. So he was born asleep. So looking at that for what it is, I have learned to pick people out of a crowd who suffer from that type of loss, being there for individuals who have no direction of how to get through that type of pain. Rainbows, my foundation has been birthed due to it. Having tons of visions, my main company, Visions LLC, it's all because of what I have gone through. And learning to live with these truths, being vulnerable enough to share my story with the world, and to make myself available to the people who need me and my services to get them through whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter if it's grief, it doesn't matter if it's a career, it doesn't matter if it's relationship woes, it doesn't matter if it's questioning your spirituality. It doesn't. If your health has suffered because of grief, because some people gain weight, lots of it. Some people go through different crises in life, and it displays in your health. It displays in your relationships. It's all because of grief. And it doesn't mean that you've lost a child. It could have been the end of a relationship. You could have lost parents. It doesn't matter. A loss is a loss, and it's grave, and it can change trajectory of your life. It can ruin marriages. It's major. It's heavy. So you have to look at those things, and that's why I do what I do. That's why this book came to be. And this is just part one. So many things are affected due to grief, due to loss. And it's up to you to make the steps, to get up, to push forward, because it's greatness in you. Even bruised and broken spaces, is beauty in it. It's beauty in it. Do not settle in those spaces. You can't afford to do that. You just can't. You can't afford it because life goes on. And when you choose life after loss, then you can live. However, it takes reality checks. It takes making changes where you need to change. It takes speaking your truth, being honest about it, not sweeping it under the rug, not hiding it, not pretending to be okay, not settling in relationships because you're in so much pain. These things happen. And that was a lot of the case. When it came to me, I didn't look like the pain that I was in. I didn't. However, life was great for me after that. But to suffer it one time and then suffer a second loss and then suffer a third loss, it starts reflecting in other ways. It comes out. The pain is prevalent. Some people notice it, some people don't. Nobody ever noticed that in me because I put it away that well. However, when I started to write about it, God put it on my heart to write this book. I knew it was going to be painful. It was things I was going to have to relive. It was things I was going to have to share. And I had to put it in this book. I had to air my laundry in order to heal. I had to heal my heart that way. And it's not going to be the same way for you as it was for me. That's why in my business, everything is customary. I don't believe in cookie cutter. I create the program that's going to be best suited for your life and your situation at that time. So that's the juice. That is the juice. And I see you guys are awful quiet and that you're just sitting out there perched and don't have any questions to ask. I guess that can be good because I figure with the questions that I was going to bring to you tonight would pretty much cross the board. I think it would cover all that needed to be said. So no storm lasts always. And that so happened to be playing right now. I told the storm because it makes your heart heavy when you're in a storm and you can be in that storm for so many years. So many years it took for me to face what I was dealing with in the shadows, in the dark, when I was by myself, and then put the mask on and be on when I'm with my family, when I'm with my friends. But those that's closest to me, they knew, and it was just a select few that I knew I could talk to them about anything when I was going through it. But to put it in writing, that's a whole different walk. It's a different walk because you have to share where you're damaged, where you're broken, where you're hurt, where the pain is in order to heal it. And don't be ashamed to do that. Don't be ashamed because after every single storm, there is a rainbow. It's a rainbow. And when that rainbow comes out, it's a peace because you've accepted what is and you know you can move forward. That's all that matters. You know you can move forward. You are proud of yourself. It's a celebration and you're liberated beyond description. That I can say from experience. And that's all I have for tonight. And perfectly timed. Perfect. Perfect. So on that note, I'm going to say love without conditions, always possess a positive attitude, and soar in all you do, Sparrows. No matter what it looks like, love yourself enough to write, to listen to your music, to find somebody that you can talk to, whatever it takes for you to get to that healing place. And if you need guidance, reach out to me. You can reach out to me here on Facebook, Instagram. I'm everywhere. You are. That's real talk. I'm wherever you are. And I will put my contact information in these other spaces in comments as well. So I want to thank you for your time, whether if you caught the live stream, if you are catching the replay. I'm thanking you for your time for viewing. So if there's any question in the back of your mind about how Valerie has become fabulous, well, I just kind of shared just a snippet as to how I became fabulous. And a lady all the time, because no matter what you're going through, always be a lady, always be a man about it. However, no more sweeping under the rugs, no more hiding from reality. You can't change until you voice, until you reveal what is hurting you, what has hurt you, and being honest about it. Love yourself enough to display and be grateful for all that you go through because it's beauty in broken. That's it, Sparrows. Again, I'm gone. Love without conditions. Always possess a positive attitude and soar in all you do. Have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Smooches.